What's going on YouTube? Bandit here, back again with another Diablo 3 video. Today I've got a Witch Doctor Fetish Army pet build video for you. And I did a video similar to this a few weeks back, but this is more of an updated version. I realized in my last video there are some things that I could have made just a tad better to make the build a little more better. And this build I am feeling very comfortable with, and it's basically going to be the build to get you by if you don't have any of the other gear for the Witch Doctor. A lot of this stuff is just things that you can create at the blacksmith station. You know, there's a couple other things that you'll need to find, but this is definitely going to be a good Witch Doctor build to get you started. So we'll go ahead, I'll talk a little bit about the skills that we're going to be using, I'll talk about the gear, we'll talk about the Paragon, and as always, I will show you some footage of the build in action. So let's get right into it. We're using Plague of Toads with Rain of Toads, Piranhas with a Pyronado, Spirit Walk with Jaunt, Summon Zombie Dogs with Leeching Beasts, Fetish Army with Legion of Daggers, Big Bad Voodoo with Slam Dance, Passives, Midnight Feast, Pierce the Veil, Grave Injustice, Fetish Sycophants. Now, Plague of Toads, if you've seen my other Witch Doctor videos with the Rain of Toads, you know this is the fastest ticking skill in the game. And we're basically using this in order to proc our Fetish Sycophants here, which is going to give us up to 15 fetishes that have a 10% chance to spawn when you attack, when you hit enemies, and they're going to fight for you for 60 seconds. So these two are working in direct conjunction with one another, and that's the reason for that skill here. Pyronados, or Piranhas with Pyronado, this is a crowd control skill here. You're going to see that it's going to pull all the monsters in and do 200% weapon damage as poison over 4 seconds. And the affected enemies will also take 15% increased damage. So we're getting some crowd control and some increased damage from that. Spirit Walk with Jaunt, purely defensive. Just to get out of the way, I like to use the Jaunt rune, but you can definitely go with Healing Journey too. Heal a little bit of your life if you're in danger. But I just like that extra second to be able to get out of danger if I need it. Summon Zombie Dogs with Leeching Beasts. You can see here our Zombie Dogs are going to heal us for 100% of life on hit with every attack. So those are good to have around, good to keep you alive, and they're going to be tanking for you and attacking for you all the time. So he's definitely good, good skill to have around. Fetish Army with Legion of Daggers. You can alternatively go with Tiki Tortures, or you can go with Legion of Daggers. Just preference. I know with your Tiki Tortures, your two fetishes that are going to be breathing fire, they're going to hit multiple enemies, whereas with the Legion of Daggers you're going to get 3 extra fetishes that have no special abilities, and they're not going to be hitting multiple enemies, they're going to be hitting singular targets. So it's really up to you. Play around with both of them, see what you like the most, and go with what suits you best. And then we've got Big Bad Voodoo with Slam Dance. This is definitely something to keep around for your Witch Doctor. You're going to see the Fetish Army, or the Fetish increases the damage of all nearby allies by 30%. So when you call this in, it's basically going to be one Fetish, and it's going to have a little red circle on the ground that you stand in, and anybody staying in that area is going to get 30% increased damage as well as 20% increased movement speed. So there's a piece of gear that we're going to be using to make this even better, as well as our Fetish Army, so I'll talk about that here in a minute. Midnight Feast, you can have 1 additional Zombie Dog summon at a time. The damage of your Zombie Dogs in Gargantuan is increased. Really, I'm only using Midnight Feast because I've got the Tall Man's Finger, and I'm only going to be getting 1 Zombie Dog. I'm really just using that for the increased damage for the Zombie Dog. So we've got that there, but if you do have not a Tall Man's Finger, you're going to be having 4 Zombie Dogs, I believe, and then with this one you'll have a 5th one available at your disposal. So that there, Pierce the Veil, all damage is increased by 20%, self-explanatory. Don't worry about the mana cost increase because you're not really going to be using a ton of it for this build. So definitely Pierce the Veil is a must-have. Grave Injustice. You could probably alternatively here go with, where is it at? Spirit Vessel for that extra life. But if you're just running a T6 and you know you've got the gear for it, you don't really need it. I like to run Grave Injustice because I like to get my Pyronado going as often as I can. And this is going to give you 1% of your maximum life and reduce cooldown of all skills by 1 second when an enemy dies in 20 yards. And these fetishes and the zombie dog, they're going to be doing all kinds of damage, killing all kinds of stuff, especially if you've got your big bad voodoo up. So you're going to be having access to your Pyrenedo quite a bit. So definitely grave injustice there. Fetish sycophants we've already talked about, working in conjunction with our plague of toads. And that's just going to be more fetishes doing damage for you. Alright, now let's go ahead and talk about the gear that we're going to be using. We've got the Mask of Jerem here. You see I've got some intelligence, vitality, resist all. And the main affix on here is that the pets are going to deal 92% more damage. So you're definitely going to want this around. I've got a life increase gem in there as well. Definitely want this around for your Witch Doctor if you're running a pet build. We'll go down here to our Eucapian Serpent. You can see we've got some intelligence, life regen, crit hit chance, Fetish Army, damage increase, and the main ability on this one, 26% of the damage you take is redirected to your zombie dog. Your pets are going to be doing a lot of tanking for you, but when you do take damage, you're only going to be taking a certain percentage because the zombie dog is your buddy. He's there to back you up, and he's going to be taking some damage for you because he is a team player. That is how the zombie dog rolls. We go over here to the SMK. Now, I don't have fully geared characters for every character in this game. You know, there's only about 3 or 4 that I've got fully leveled and geared up pretty decently. But this star medal here, I'd have to say, is probably one of the better weapons in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but just the fact that we've got it's cooling down our big bad voodoo and fetish army every time our fetishes do damage is huge. I've been fighting elites where I'm getting a big bad voodoo down. I'm getting like 3, 4, 5 of them down just fighting an elite or Rift Guardian, and they're pretty much covering the whole screen, and everybody's getting some big bad voodoo action, as well as the fetish army. You know, if you're not running the Zuni Masa set where your fetish army is active all the time until they die, the SMK is going to make sure that you get to activate your fetish army just as often pretty much as your big bad voodoo. And it's definitely going to be good to have both of these around. You're going to need these around, the fetish army especially, to get that SMK and the cooldown procced for your skills here. So SMK, definitely the way to go. I heard that they are increasing the drop rate of the more rare items, and you've also got a chance to find an ancient one too. So be on the lookout for that. Good luck, because it's definitely a great dagger to have for your Witch Doctor. We'll go ahead next. We'll talk about our Tasker and Theo gloves. You can see I've got some intelligence, resist all, attack speed increase, and crit hit chance. And it's going to increase the attack speed of our pets by 47%. That's the main stat on there, the main affix. So definitely be on the lookout for those. Must have for any pet build. We'll go over and talk about our belt. You see I got intelligence, vitality, attack speed increase. Definitely all about that attack speed increase for our Plague of Toads, getting those fetish sycophants up. So anytime you get some gear with attack speed on there, definitely good to have. And we're also going to increase damage against elites by 5%. I'll talk about our jewelry next. I've got the Ring of Royal Grandeur, which for this build you don't really need, because you can see our Oghild set here is only 3 pieces, and we're wearing 3 pieces. Our Cane set here, the only thing we're worried about is the 2 set bonus, which we have 2 pieces, and that's the attack speed increase. So if you want to go with a Unity instead, I do have a Unity here, but I'm pretty well geared for T6s, and my Ring of Royal Grandeur has a little more damage, so that's why I'm using it. But if you want to go with a Unity or switch out your Tall Man's Finger instead, you by all means do it, especially if you're in a Greater Rift, you're going to want that Unity. And I've got one for my follower here as well. But it's just personal preference. This is just how I've preferred to play it, mostly because of the damage, extra damage that the Ring of Royal Grandeur gives me. So, but in that ring, you see I've got intelligence, attack speed on there, and I've also got an Enforcer gem, which is another must-have if you're going to be running a pet build, especially for your Witch Doctor. Over here you can see I've got the Tall Man's Finger. This is just a cool looking ring. I kind of want a ring like this. I want to put it on my finger and just be creepy, because that's a creepy looking ring. But you see I've got intelligence, attack speed on there, and 11% life. Zombie Dog instead summons a single gargantuan dog with more damage and health than all of the other dogs combined. And then I've got a pain enhancer on there. Crit hits cause the enemy to bleed for 1980 percent weapon damage is physical over 3 seconds. Obviously that is going to be based on your rank. So, and then you got the Gain Blood Frenzy, granting you 3% increased attack speed for each bleeding enemy within 20 yards. So, more chances to get your fetishes up a lot quicker. I wish I had a socket in this. I'm on the lookout always for an amulet with a socket, I think. I don't think I have any sockets in any of my amulets for any character. But, nonetheless, this amulet is pretty incredible. I've got some intelligence on here. Crit hit damage, crit hit chance, and reduced cooldown. Don't really need that reduced cooldown, but I got that extra damage on there, which I prefer. And when you use Big Bad Voodoo, you're going to get some more crowd control, and it's going to cause the enemies to jump uncontrollably for 8 seconds. I just like the way it looks, especially when you got the enemies all twisted up in your Pyrenedo. You call in your Big Bad Voodoo, and they're just going to start jumping all over the place. So it's pretty fun to watch. Definitely a cool amulet to have there. You can see here our Og Hilt set. I've got 3 pieces of this. We've got Intelligence, Vitality, Resist All on the shoulders, and increased Fetish Army damage. We've got Intelligence, Life, and Fetish Army damage on our chest here, and on the bracers, we've got Crit Hit Chance, Intelligence, Vitality, and our physical skills, dealing 20% more damage. So our Zombie Dog, our Fetish Army, they're all going to be doing a little bit more damage there with these bracers. And we're also going to be getting reduced damage from ranged, melee, and elites. But we're going to increase our damage against elites by 15%. So definitely not bad to have there. With our canes here, we're only really worried about our attack speed with our 2 pieces here. Attack speed increased by 8%. And if you got the Ring of Royal Grandeur, which you don't really need for this build, you're going to get the 50% better chance finding magical items. But who cares about that? But these 3 pieces, the Og Hilts and the canes, if you don't already know, you can easily craft those at the blacksmith station over here. You can see here we've got, go ahead and find some here. See, we've got some Canes Travelers. We've got the Og Hilts bracers. So get your Forgotten Souls together, all your crafting materials, go ahead and craft you some of that stuff. You see here I've just got some intelligence gems in there to boost my damage. I'm just over 1.1 million. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. We'll go ahead and we will talk about our Paragon. In my core, in my last video, some people called me out saying you don't really use your mana that much, so why are you putting your points into it? Put them in other places. And I went ahead and reconciled that. Here we are. No points in mana. You're going to adjust your movement speed accordingly. I've got a ton of points up here in intelligence, some in vitality. We're going to go to offense. I like crit hit chance, crit hit damage just for that DPS boost. And then attack speed. I'm happy with my attack speed where it's at. I'm getting my fetishes up pretty quick from the fetish sycophants. But if your attack speed sucks, then definitely feel free to max that out if you want to. And then we'll do CDR last. Defensively, we've got resist all, armor, putting the rest into life there. And then for utility, life on hit, resource cost reduction, area damage, and that is that. Now is the part of the video where we go pay some kind of boss. Will probably be the butcher. We're gonna go pay somebody a visit, let them know that we're coming at them, and we're gonna see what they think about our build. So stand by, stick around. Alright guys, here we are in our usual spot. Let's go ahead and get our fetishes up. Let's go ahead and proc our Big Bad Voodoo and we'll get that Pyrenedo going. See how long it takes us to get our fetish army up here. Gonna cleanse the cursed chest. See here, we've already up to 9 fetishes that we've procced. And you can see here, with our Grave Injustice, you can just see everything coming here. Our fetishes are attacking, it's just taking the cooldown, it's just taking it down in chunks. I love watching them all work too. And you can really, I mean, besides calling in your Pyrenedo, besides activating that, you can really just kind of sit back and let them do their thing. Here we go. Throw down our Big Bad Voodoo as soon as we get them procced up here. Step back a little bit. Here we go. But you can just see these guys just melting away. Go and spirit walk through all of that. I really hate looking for the butcher. I get so lost in this place. Our fetish is here, Big Bad Voodoo. I mean, just look at that. We're just standing back. We've already got our fetishes, our 15 that we're allowed to have. And we are just doing massive amounts of work. Make sure fetishes are up. I always like to call them my fetishes when I come across a new group. But I mean, just look at this. Absolutely crazy. I'm not even crowd controlling them or anything. We'll do this one here because we got a big group. And then you can see them jumping from the Halcyon's Ascent Amulet. I mean, look at that. They were trash mobs. They were gone in probably, what, less than 5 seconds? And when you get that singular damage from, when you've got like the Rift Guardian, or, you know, a boss, like let's say the Butcher, and they're all just attacking one thing, they're just going to go even faster. Sometimes they do scatter around a little bit, and they're doing less damage because they're not all working together. But for the most part, they all gang up and work together nicely as a unit. We just look at this here. We got that Pyronado going all the time. I mean, look at this. It's just a lot of fun. Just a really fun build, guys. There's not a ton that you have to do either. Just let your fetishes do all the work for you. I'm gonna go attack these guys over here. Gotta get our sycophants back up. Alright, here we go. We can we'll pop this shrine here. Let our pets do some work. Get out of the way of that thing. What's going on here? There you go. You can see once they all start attacking the elite, he doesn't have very long left. I think you guys will be happy with the way that the Butcher goes down, how quickly he goes down. Let's get our boys up here. Hurry up and do your thing, Butcher. We're running out of time. Oh, my fetish is disappearing on me before they have a chance to hit you. Here we go. I hate that thing. But look at them, look at them. They're just going to town. I mean, I really don't even have to do anything. They chase him all over the map. I think that's hilarious when they chase him. Just don't die. And yeah, he's done. Like, I didn't even see him go down. He's done, so. That's all there is to that. We'll go ahead and collect this gold here. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Fetish Army pet build for the Witch Doctor. A couple of key pieces of gear that you'll need to make it really work for you. But it's really fun. If you guys have any builds you've been using with your Witch Doctor that you've been having fun with, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this build as well. Let me know if you've tried it, if you like it, just your thoughts on it. If you like the video, feel free to give it a like, subscribe to my channel to keep up to date on all future Diablo 3 build videos, guides, and information. And until next time, guys, as always, y'all stay beastin'. Peace.